Underage drinking itself is a problem in Missouri. Our average age of first use is about 12 and a half, and these are kids that are in 6th and 7th grade, if you will. To me, that's kind of like giving a 7-year-old the car keys to the family car and saying, go for it.
12 is the average age, so that means kids even younger than 12 are now engaging in alcohol use. Missouri's had several significant outcomes in our prevention efforts. Our coalitions have been a strong force for prevention. Many of the social ordinances like social hosting, tag registration, all of those have been passed sometimes at the local level prior to them being passed at the state level. Our coalitions are very strong and they have been for many years.
It doesn't just stop with the drinking. I mean, we've had sexual assaults come out of these kind of things. We've had thefts come out of these things. Obviously, DWIs come out of them all the time. You might say we're not going to let these people drive home, but you can't really control 30 or 40 intoxicated teens.
The organization we're working with Trend is really building that leadership as a youth coalition within a lot of these schools. And what we're trying to instill is some of those resiliency skills so they can take those skills back to their peers and really help their friends to make good decisions in their lives.
My opinion, I think it's just stupid. I mean, there's true evidence that it hurts your body, hurts your self-esteem, all that kind of stuff, and I wouldn't do it.
At one point in one of our counties, we started out at a 40% non-compliance rate. And after repeated compliance checks and education with our retailers, we had reduced that to 5% non-compliance.
I'm sorry, I can't sell to you. You're underage.
Youth know the issues that are going on and they know why their peers are using, so they're usually the best resource to identify the solutions behind that. And decision makers listen to those kids.
Most of the time it is the parents that provide the alcohol for their children.
I like just helping out because it feels like I actually can reach these kids. So a lot of the stuff I do is with younger kids, with middle school and elementary kids. And it feels like I know that those kids look up to us as high schoolers and like to know that someone's reaching out, looking out for them.
Going to conferences like CADCA and seeing the other youth leaders and other advocates is really, it just neat to see everyone working together and the youth are leading the adults instead of the adults leading the youth.
About 25 years ago, there were no evidence-based programs. There were no benchmarks to show whether or not programs actually work. There's been increased attention on evidence-based programs, and we're seeing that that makes a big difference. Now we can measure the outcomes, and we really see that they work well.
Well, Partners in Prevention is the consortium of the 13 public universities in the state, and we're funded by the Missouri Division of Alcohol and Drug Abuse to fund strategic plans for prevention on those 13 campuses. The things that have happened as a result of funding those strategic plans for prevention have resulted in a 1/3 decrease in our binge drinking rate among Missouri college students.
There's this perception that everybody is doing it, that it's cool, everyone's drinking, everyone's partying. But in reality, students value so many more things. And so we see this change in attitudes that students are starting to realize that what is the perception is not actually the reality. And that's really empowering.
The longer you can hold off a kid from drinking, the less likely it is they will become addicted and suffer the severe consequences of underage drinking.
And that is so important because if we can prevent the activity from ever happening, we've actually saved a lot of money.
Parents are still the primary influence over their kids' behavior. And, yes, there's peer pressure and that type of thing, but if parents will start early talking about those things, it'll certainly help kids make the right choices.
I got involved because I have better things to do than participate in underage drinking. If you want to make a difference, you should get involved too.